when grief meets revenge, when trust shatters into silence, when love becomes a battlefield, The Last of Us is back, and it's more heart-wrenching than ever. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're breaking down every emotional, intense, and unforgettable moment from The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1, titled Future Days. It's been 2 long years since HBO left us standing in that field, with Ellie staring Joel in the eye, wondering if the man she trusted more than anyone had just lied to her. The silence said everything, but the conversation wasn't over. And now the second chapter begins. Buckle up, because this episode doesn't just pick up the pieces. It tears them apart and rearranges them into something even more haunting. A promise and a lie. The premiere wastes no time. The first scene immediately throws us back into the memory of that final, heartbreaking conversation between Joel and Ellie. Joel's voice calm, steady, swearing that every word about the fireflies was true. But Ellie's pause? That single word, okay, cut deeper than any infected's bite. This silence wasn't closure. It was the beginning of a fracture. And as the camera shifts away from the uneasy father-daughter bond, we meet the ones left behind by Joel's decision. Abby, Mel, Owen, Manny, and Nora. The fireflies aren't just mourning their people. They're sitting inside the broken shell of grief, trying to answer the question, why? Why would one man kill an entire hospital? Why would he rob humanity of its one fragile hope for a cure? Abby doesn't care about the why. She only cares about the who. And her thirst for vengeance is the spark that lights this entire season. The final moment in this segment says it all. Abby staring at her friends, cold and certain. When we find Joel, we're going to kill him. Slowly, the illusion of peace. The world has changed, but people stay the same. 5 years pass, and Joel and Ellie now live inside Jackson, Wyoming, a slice of fragile normalcy in a broken world. But beneath this quiet town, the weight of unspoken truths keeps piling up. Ellie, now older and sharper, throws herself into training, testing her strength against a man twice her size. What first looks like survival becomes clear. This is self-defense born from trauma. She can't afford weakness. She won't allow herself to be helpless, ever again. When Jesse steps in to stop the fight, the tension only thickens. Ellie's frustration shows. She doesn't want protecting. She wants to fight her own battles. And beyond the barn walls, the settlement is growing, not just in numbers, but in secrets. Joel is trying desperately to mend the silence between him and Ellie, but the gap keeps widening, and no amount of small talk or chores can bridge it. When Dina arrives asking if Ellie's mad at Joel, it's clear. Even outsiders can feel the disconnect. And Joel, for the first time, admits something few men in his world ever would. He's going to therapy. Because some wounds, you can't patch with tape and hope they hold. The therapist's confession. Joel's session with Gail is more than therapy. It's emotional warfare. At first, the conversation is light. Joel tries to downplay the distance between him and Ellie, brushing it off as teenage rebellion. But the truth slowly bleeds through. And just when the room feels still, Gail drops a bombshell that turns the moment ice cold. You killed my husband. The air shatters. Joel, the man who faced hordes of infected, is left speechless. Gail tells him the truth she's buried for years, how much she hates him, even though she understands why he did what he did. Joel has spent years running from the guilt of that day in the Firefly Hospital. But now, sitting on that worn-out couch, there's nowhere left to run. And the weight of his past, the lives he destroyed, the trust he betrayed, it all crashes down at once. Crying, Joel stands, clinging to one last piece of honesty. I saved her. That's the truth. If you've made it this far, you can already feel how powerful this season is going to be. If you love breakdowns packed with emotional deep dives like this one, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join the family. We've got a lot more The Last of Us content coming your way. Patrols, secrets, and blood trails. Out in the wilds beyond Jackson, danger never sleeps. Ellie joins Dina and the patrol crew on their rounds, hoping action will drown out the noise in her head. When they find a blood trail leading to an abandoned supermarket, instincts should have told them to turn back. But curiosity, or maybe something darker, pulls them inside. 2 clickers lie in wait. The fight is fast, brutal, and messy, but the real nightmare starts when the building collapses, trapping Ellie underground. Alone. A single runner stalks the shadows. This isn't the usual mindless infected. Its movements are smarter, calculated, and almost human. The chase isn't just terrifying, it's a warning. The infected are evolving. Ellie kills it, but not without cost. She's bitten. again. And just like before, she hides it. The question isn't whether she'll turn. The question is, what does it mean when the rules of the world start to change? Love, loss, and the party. Back inside Jackson, the mood shifts. The scars of the day are hidden beneath smiles and music as the town celebrates the new year. But not everyone is celebrating. Dina and Ellie's friendship blooms into something more during the party. Their shared glances, the light touches, the awkward smiles, it all builds to a moment of quiet happiness. A kiss. And then the real world smashes in. A nearby resident slurs an insult, turning tenderness into rage. Before Ellie can respond, Joel steps in, fists first. But for Ellie, this wasn't about protection. It was about trust. Joel's overprotective instinct, the same instinct that saved her in season 1, now feels suffocating. And the anger in her voice cuts just as deep as her silence once did. I don't want your help. The moment says it all. The gap between them has grown into a canyon, and neither of them knows if it can ever be bridged. As the party fades into the cold, the camera reveals 2 final chilling truths. Cordyceps is growing beneath Jackson. Abby is getting closer. The countdown to heartbreak has begun. The beginning of the end, and there you have it. The first episode of The Last of Us, Season 2 doesn't just continue the story, it deepens the wounds. From Joel and Ellie's strained relationship, to Abby's thirst for revenge, to the chilling discovery that the infected are adapting, this premiere delivers on every level. The performances are raw, the writing is sharp, and the emotional punches land harder than ever. Bella Ramsey shines, Pedro Pascal breaks your heart, and the world of The Last of Us feels both more beautiful and more brutal than ever. This season is going to hurt, and it's going to be unforgettable. If you felt even half the emotion I did watching this episode, hit like. And if you want to stay on this journey with me, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and as always, endure and survive.